What's up, everybody? It's your favorite Dark Knight's favorite nerd. Today we are looking at the Mezco Ascending Knight Batman. I think this is the third time they've used this getup. It's just different colors and such. But it's also well known to me from Baltimore Brandon. The last of the three let me hold. So let's move through it. He comes with his typical Mezco stand. It once again is a thing of beauty. Swivels, hinges, 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 swivels, hinges, with the clamps anyway. And then we have the Dark Knight sort of symbol there, the bat symbol on the base. But that's not it for display options. He also comes with this bit. It can clip on to the stand, and then you can have this. These bits plug into here. We've looked at this before, I believe, with the Superman. And then these clips will hold the cape, so you can pose the cape, and you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those, and they are all wired, so you can pose them. Comes with a few hands. We got left and right posing hands, left and right batarang holding hands, and then a right grappling gun holding hand. Plus the 2 fist hands you saw in the opening footage. Comes with an alternate Bruce Wayne face sculpt. It's a little on the animated looking side of things, like it doesn't look very realistic, but it is, I think, what they're trying to do, they did it well. I think this was a purposeful choice. We got good paint on the lips, not a whole lot of shading, but it is there, it's subtle, and then the eyes are painted and such, and then the hair is black, and then dry brush with a gray, it looks like. Then he comes with 10 small batarangs, and as you can see, he holds just fine. It is a nice, like, it's nice to get these little small batarangs. Usually I feel like sometimes they're disproportionately large, you know, for the character. But they went very small. You get 10 of them. They're well sculpted, and they have a gunmetal paint finish to them. And then he also has like a little bowcaster that he can hold in one hand. It kind of sits on the top of his hand. It's decent enough. It's a little bit of a bizarre choice, but you got little silver paint accents added to it, and then the gunmetal and a couple silver paint accents added to the actual bow. Then you get his grappling gun. Great sculpt. Kind of has a little bit of the '89 influence in it, I feel like. We got gunmetal paint and silver paint added on. Decent enough. You have this little port here, and this can plug in the resting grapple, the outward grapple, or this plug that's attached to some string that he hasn't unwound, and I'm not going to do it for him, where you could put this somewhere else and then have it all posed together. So 3 great options. And he holds it just fine. And then lastly, he comes with this thing, which is interesting. It folds up and extends on a double hinge. Well, yeah, I guess it is a double hinge, yep. And then you have gunmetal silver and then a proper silver added to it. He can hold on to this, and he can serve drinks on it, or play a game, you know, or I'm not sure what else, but it looks a little absurd for a weapon, but it is done well. And now we can talk about the figure, which is pretty decent. We'll get to the cape in a second. So the head sculpt, I'm not exactly sure what Batman they're going for here. It looks kind of Bob Kane-ish to me in design, like maybe like a modernized Bob Kane look. As you can see, it's on a double ball peg, and then does the neck have an additional? No, it does not. So that's going to be a little limiting, which is unfortunate. Come on. Head movement-wise, you get down to there, up to there, left and right. Confused dog look. So it all works fairly well. White paint on the eyes, and then the face is shaded and such and looks good. Very good sculpt. That's never their problem. So the cape, capes are hard. We know this to be true. So it almost has like a denim-y feel on the inside, and then on the outside is like this softer leather, like faux leather. What they try to do is they try to have it so that you could fold it back this way and have this sort of look, or you could have it over the top, but the material just doesn't have the weight to kind of give it a very natural look. I'm sure you could iron it out or something, but just, you know, out of box, that's what we're talking about. So be aware, there's a nice sculpt work and paint work on the cowl as well. All right, moving on to the shoulders, typical disc hinge into a ball peg, into the socket in the chest, get the arm out to there. The soft goods are made up mainly of this material here that connects to this like faux leather or patent leather look there. Doesn't seem to hinder it whatsoever. You get the arm up to there, all the way up, no problem. There is a bicep swivel, there is a double jointed elbow. All looks very good and natural, especially for what they're doing. Then they have the gauntlets that are plastic sculpted and molded. We have ball hinges for wrists, so you can get up down, or you can swivel them and get in out. Easy for me to say. There. And then you have the same for the other side. We have a double ball peg from the chest into the abdomen, and then a single from the abdomen into the pelvis. Using both, you can get them all the way across to there, which is nice. Back to there. forward to there, so it all works well. And of course, little teapot. And then we have the bat emblem. That looks good. It's on top. It sticks out a little much, but it's not a big deal. And then we have the belt. We have a gold paint added to the belt, and then like a beige on some parts of it as well. The belt is very big, maybe too big, but it's kind of their design, so whatever they want to do, I suppose. T-jointed ball joints for hips. Proportion-wise, this suit works much better. Get the legs out to there, forward and back to there. Thigh swivel. Double jointed knee. Doesn't look too bad even in the suit, which is sometimes an issue, so that's cool. Boots are all well sculpted. There's not a lot of like dry brushing. I feel like they could have hit it with a little bit of dirty, like worn in look, like a weathering of sorts. Ankles are on double ball pegs, I think. I could be wrong about that though. But it gets the ankle up to there, which is nice. Back to there, which is fine. And maybe a little bit of a better rocker than I'm used to seeing with them. And then there's the back of the figure. You can also put the grappling gun in there. So that's all cool. It works fairly well. Like the look of it works a lot better than, you know, a lot of the other ones that I've seen in terms of how the soft goods sort of work. Sometimes their pants are too high, like with Logan, and et cetera, et cetera. Sometimes the joints stick out or whatever, but this looks very good. Final thoughts wise, I don't have a whole lot of negative to say about this guy. I do think that the one accessory that kind of flips out is a little goofy, but you know, that's definitely a subjective thing. Maybe some people love it. I think it's just a bit, it's just a bit much. And the cape definitely presents a number of obstacles in terms of how you pose it, but as you can see, it's definitely workable. You just kind of have to work with it and get it posed just right. And then subjectively, I'm not crazy about the ears on this unit. Like, you know, that's a design choice. That's not a quality issue. It just doesn't really suit my sensibilities. But with all the Batman figures out there, it's always nice to have options, and some people really like that kind of look with the ears, so I guess it's nice for them. The positives are that soft goods tend to be an issue, especially in 1/12 scale, especially with this company, which, to be fair, is one of the few companies that's doing it, but the presentation tends to be an issue. There's no real issue here. It all works extremely well. And this happens from time to time. It worked with their Daredevil, there's a few others. Like, every now and then, it suits the character and the presentation just fine, and then sometimes it doesn't, and this is one where it does. And that's always nice because it's pivotal and pertinent as to whether or not the figure is going to display extremely well. Every now and then you can work around it like we saw with Logan, but it's a workaround. That's what it is. Tons of accessories, most of which are super cool. All the plastic sculpt work and paint is done well. I like the display options. It is a bit of a pain to kind of work it all out and stuff, and I'm not sure if I've done it the best. You could probably do it better than I have, but I think that either way, you'll be able to work something out. You got a little bit of time. You should be fine. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.